going down, man? It's Donnie S.U.C podcast, man. Hey, man, check it out. We got a real special guest. We done had a few people in here from the Screwed Up Clique, you know what I mean? A whole lot of rappers. And if you know anything about the Screwed Up Clique for real, everybody in there wasn't rappers, you know what I'm saying? You had your street cats, you had different types of players, you know what I'm saying, in the clique as well. And today's guest, man, this is one of my favorites, you know what I'm saying, from that group, you know what I'm saying, of the Screwed Up Clique. I always had the jamming tapes, you know what I'm saying? Anybody who know, when we talking screw tapes, I'm going to tell you off top, my favorite one is Only Rolling Red, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Lil Randy, what's going down?
Man, just cool, man. I appreciate you calling me out here, man. You know, It's real, man. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What's going down, man?
Man, just cool, man. You know, coming in to spit some of these screw stories with you, you know.
Yeah.
Educate, you know, give a little history, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. So, man, let's take it back, man. You from the H South Side, you know what I'm saying?
Born and raised.
Yeah. So South Park, 3rd Ward.
South Park, 3rd Ward.
Yeah. So middle school, Cullen.
Middle school, I went to Cullen. High school, I went to Jack.
And Cullen, you say you was over there. Who's over there? H-Town was over there?
Yeah, H-Town was there. Big Pokey was there. Big Mo was there. Let me see who else from the clique was there. I think that's as far as people that kind of known.
Yeah.
I think those are like the main people that was there when I was there. Like, and we all played football together. Like, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. Well, shit, that was when man Yates was so then you went to Yates. Did you play? You played at Yates too?
I went to Yates. I didn't play my senior year. I played until I was in the 11th grade. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause like, I went a different route or whatever. But yeah, I played till I was in the 11th grade.
Yeah.
I played quarterback.
Yeah. So what's going on in Houston like around this time? You saying you went a different route, so you ain't just going to school. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about just the H and what you know what I'm saying. What's going down?
I was still in school. Like I said, I still graduated. Like I graduated number 56 in my class.
Already. Screwed up educators.
I just kind of I just kind of I stopped growing. Because a lot of people don't know, I'm like, the size I am now, I've been the same size since 7th grade.
Okay.
Like,
so at one point it was cool and then...
Because everybody else was still small.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? We was all the same. In middle school, we was all... But, like, I guess like the 9th grade going to the 10th or maybe the 8th grade going to the 9th, everybody kind of got their little spurt. I ain't get mine. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was kind of difficult for me to play... quarterback at a high level, not being able to see over the line. Like all my plays, I had to roll out to throw, and that was kind of like different. Like the other team would know if I'm rolling out, I'm finna throw it.
Right.
That kind of took it straight, and I was kind of spoiled. I'm the type of person like if I don't get my way, I'm finna go do something else. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't getting my way on that football field, man. And I ain't used to playing behind nobody or not being a star and all that. So yeah, I just started doing my own thing, man. The streets, man. And that's when stayed there for a minute, man.
Yeah. So let's talk about it, man. When do you how do you meet DJ Screw?
I met Screw at out of After Hour Club, but see, before Screw was DJing at this club, I didn't know he was going to DJ. He was just somebody that I knew in the hood. And like me and my brother, my parents had passed away while I was really young. So me and my brother kind of just stayed. It was just me and my brother. We was real young. And Screw would come by, just somebody in the hood. He would come by and just like chill till he was. I didn't know he was going to DJ till after the fact. But before he would go and DJ, because he didn't start DJing until like 2 a.m, he would come by and just chill. He might fall asleep on the couch or just whatever. But. Like I say, people got a picture of me just like, don't think of him as Screw, as the person that sold all these tapes. You got to think of Screw.
It's just your partner he just DJ.
Just somebody you know.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? He ain't got no name in the streets or nothing like that. It's just, you know what I'm saying? He was just DJ Screw. That's it. So, and that's kind of like how I met him. So I started going to the After Hour, and when I would come in the After Hour, I'd be like, man, that song jamming or whatever. One time he was playing a song by Bust Down. And when he played that song,
Nasty Bitch?
Yeah, I was like, man, that song jamming. So every time I would come in the club, he would play that song. Every time I came in the club, you know what I'm saying?
That was a shout out.
That was my shout out.
Yeah.
And so Screw had stopped. The club had got closed down. Of course, clubs don't last forever. But the club had closed. And so I didn't really see Screw or talk to Screw for a while. And then all of a sudden, one of my homies take me to by his house. My little homie named Stanker, he take me by his house or whatever. And Screw, and Screw was like, "Oh, that's my partner, whatever." You know what I'm saying? And I was telling Stanker, "Oh man, I know him."
So at this time, how old are you at this time?
I had to be like 16, 17.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Could have been 15, but I don't think I would, because I think it was like in the summertime when I was coming from the 10th to the 11th, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Still in school though. Still in high school and shit though.
Yeah. I was still in high school. Yeah, I was still in high school. And so I mean, after that, we just, it was history after that. As far as me and Screw, really started kicking it. Like, once I went to his house, and it was like more of a like, I'm just coming by to chill all the time, because he was doing it to me when he was DJing. He would just come by, just stop by and chill. It wasn't, nobody was thinking anything was going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? We just normal kids hanging out. That's it.
So was he making these tapes back then or not?
Yeah.
They were slowed down. Or
Yeah,
he was
they
writing
were
tapes?
slowed down. They were slowed down. He was making the tapes then. You know what I'm saying? He was making tapes before we started slowing down tapes. It just wasn't slow. But like when I met Screw, he was already doing mixed tapes. He was already mixing, but they just wasn't slow. He started slowing them down, and that just, like, the first time I heard him slow down a tape, I was like, man, that's creative. You know what I'm saying?
So that was your first time hearing slow down music?
Yeah, my first time I heard him slow down the tape, man, I was like, man, that's creative, bro. Like, a lot of people don't like to admit it, but the first time they heard it, they thought it didn't sound good. People didn't take a liking to it the first time they heard it, because it was different. It was unusual. The only way you heard a song drag like that, most people be like, oh man, battery's low in the radio, or something wrong with your tape there, because people didn't, or you would take it like a 45 and play it at 33. That's the only way you heard it like that. You know what I'm saying? But to hear somebody do a whole mixtape like that, even back then, the first time you heard it slow, it was just one song. It wasn't like the whole mixtape with him scratching and all this and bringing in other songs and all that. That was different. So to me, it had caught my ear, and I don't know. Me and Screw, we just took a liking to each other as far as that. I think the music made us closer. We was already cool, but the music kind of made us like real close, to where I was almost every day. Even if we wasn't doing music, it became more on just, that's my homie.
So when you going over there kicking it, like he's slowing the tapes down, were y'all like already pouring up and shit like that back then, or that wasn't really like a part of the thing? He just happened to just slow that shit down just on some fucking around shit.
Yeah, he just did it. It wasn't really on no just messing around shit. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
I wasn't into DJing, but Screw knew what he was doing. Like when he was slowing the music down, he did that intentionally. It wasn't by accident.
Yeah.
That was something that he was striving to perfect. That was his creativity in his mind. He was like, man, this gonna be my mark for my tapes. Each DJ had their own style.
So that was gonna be his signature.
That was his signature.
When you hear slow down,
when you
know
hear slow
this
down,
is a Screw tape.
People started calling them Screw tapes. He didn't call it that. You feel what I'm saying? He was just making the tapes. Other people, because like when Screw first started making the Screw tapes, he didn't even put names on them. Like like you say, you like the On Rolling Red tape. My first tape that I did with Screw didn't have on it. It didn't say nothing on it. It just had DJ Screw and Lil Randy. He would make the tape, put your name on the tape so he'll know that this is the tape that he done for you, and give you the tape. It wasn't no 10, 100 people had this tape. You know what I'm saying? Like the first tapes we made, everybody didn't have those tapes. Those tapes was just for you. That was it. That's how Screw tapes started. But when it started getting to where so many people wanting him to make a tape, he couldn't make a tape for everybody. So what he would do is start copying them, what they call dubs. He would copy the tapes and be like, if somebody coming over and be like, man, I want such and such a song, he'll be like, oh, I got that on the tape. And he'll just sell you the tape already
with the song
made.
on there, yeah.
So that's what he was trying to eliminate, having to try to make tapes for everybody and just sell people, because most of the time people wanted the same songs. So he would just
So that's what started the dubs.
That's what started the dub, the masses, the people, everybody wanting him to make a tape. Because he started out making a tape for everybody. It wasn't no dubbing. There wasn't no copies. It wasn't nobody had no copies.
Every tape was a personal tape.
Every tape, and it's still like that. Every tape was still a personal tape.
It's just everybody wasn't gonna have a personal.
It's just he started dubbing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he started dubbing them and copying them because he couldn't make them for everybody. So that's how the whole dubbing came in. That's how the whole name on the screw tapes came in. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said in the beginning, it wasn't no Only Rolling Red, wasn't no 9-6 Live, wasn't none of that. It was just Screw and Lil Randy, or like Screw and whoever he made the tape for, which was only a handful of people. That's why a lot of people don't even know about that era. You know what I'm saying? Especially none of the rappers, because back then wasn't none of us rapping.
That was gonna be my next question, was who was rapping back then.
LD probably was the only person that I knew that was rapping at that time.
This is like what year? If you had to put a year on it.
Probably like 89, 90.
That early.
Like 89, 90, when LD was the only person in the clique that I knew that was rapping. You know what I'm saying? But like one of the first people that I ever saw rapping was probably K Reno. You know, I couldn't even tell you. I was probably like 6th, 7th grade, man, when I first, you know, because I used to spend my summers in these apartments in a dead end. They was called Meadow Green back then. I don't know what they're called now, but they on Selinsky. They close to Sterling and Albert Thomas Middle School. And my sister stayed in those apartments. So I would spend my summers over there because they had a pool. So I would go over there with my nephews, and when we would walk to the pool, K Reno would be in the breezeway of the apartments, writing in this little pad, you know what I'm saying? And so me and my nephew would go over there, and he'll just be rapping. He'll be listening to this here, you know, and he'll just start rapping. You know, I didn't know who he was or nothing like that, but then, and I didn't even know what he was doing. I wasn't even familiar with him rapping, you know what I'm saying? I heard music, but I never seen nobody actually, you know, I just
do
heard
it in person, right?
Yeah. And so he was like rapping, and I was like, man, dude, think he a musician or something, you know, with it, you know. And then it's crazy, even back then, you know, we call people musicians. The word rap wasn't even really out then, you know. But K Reno was doing it, so yeah. Shout out K Reno, you know.
Yeah, already K Reno was up there. Yeah. Shout out K Reno.
Okay. Well, yeah, you had a
legend for sure. So, all right, so the screw tape, what really gets the screw tapes going? Because from my understanding, like, it was y'all kind of just in the streets riding around with them, and like, you know what I mean? What kind of got the buzz really going and turned it into a thing and got the rappers over there? Like, what came first? Was it y'all having the songs the tapes in the streets and people jamming them slow down tapes, or was it when the rappers came and then it was like, all right, we in the streets they slow down and they rapping?
The rapping kind of added to the craze. But as far as the popularity of Screw was doing something different. That's you know, everybody's always looking for that next thing, you know, and Screw had provided that next thing at the time, you know, him mixing them tapes, the entire tape, not just one song, and he's still scratching them, you know, and that was like the new thing. Like nobody was doing that. Nobody, like, it was unheard of. So it's always, people always had that figurative. They always trying to figure out, how is he doing that? Because still to this day, like, the average person would probably think that those tapes was recorded slow. They weren't, you know what I'm saying? It was like he would record it at regular speed and then slow it down. So a lot of people they don't get that. And it's still, even after me telling them that, they still gonna think, nah, he had to already been slowing it down, because that's how they pictured him trying to figure out how he was doing it. They pictured it already being slow. So me telling them that it wasn't, they still not gonna get it, you know? Yeah.
That's what I be telling people too about. I be telling them, like, you know, for me as a DJ, like, that's the most probably influential DJ on me that I probably listen to the most. I ain't from New York, so I ain't hear a bunch of DJ Clue. I ain't hear a bunch of Funk Man. I ain't hear, you know what I'm saying, whoever was on the West or wherever. Like, I heard a lot of Screw.
I mean, and to think, like you saying, DJs from New York. Just think at the time, if you wasn't a DJ from New York, you really wasn't even considered anybody. Screw was the only DJ from the South, went to a all New York DJ panel and won the first place trophy out of all these New York DJs for creativity, mixtape creativity. So that says a lot about him at a time when a South DJ wasn't even heard of.
Yeah.
You know, he came from the South, went to the East, came home with the crown. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And after that, it was no denying his creativity, man.
Yeah.
No denying it. You know.
Yeah. Nah, but that, that's what I was saying is that people think the tape slowed down. I'm like, nah, like Screw was really that shit he was doing. It
I
ain't
mean,
easy because you listen to it slow. Like, nah,
you
that
can
shit.
do it now. I mean, it's with technology now.
But at that time,
you can record the tape already slow. You can do it now, but it's still it's not how that's not how Screw did
Yeah,
it.
no, he was really in there
He was
going at it.
all his everything was manual. It was no pressing buttons, with no computers, with no like what I'm saying. A DJ in this generation could never accomplish what he doing because the computer technology is in the way.
It give you everything.
It's in the way.
It give everything.
And it's in the way. So you know what I'm saying. You could never be as creative as he was because you already got autopilot in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And most people don't want to take time to learn. Like they don't want to take this however many years it take you to craft a DJ. They want to be let me just press this button and it's already doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, so shit. What was your first tape that you remember that had the name on there?
The first tape that I named was called Drinking Candy.
Drinking Candy.
That was the first tape I put a name on.
Yeah.
Drinking Candy.
It's that Lil Randy. Drinking Candy.
Right.
So tell me, okay, because it used to be like I hit on the Lil Randy tapes. It's like Randy, Rhino, Big Lenny. Like who are these other people that?
Well, Rhino, that's my brother.
Okay.
And Big Lenny, that's my nephew.
Okay.
And like in the beginning, me and Big Lenny would like make a lot of my tapes in the beginning say DJ Screw, Lil Randy, and Big Lenny. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the times, me and my nephew, we would think of the list. We'll go half on the songs. We'd be like, man, you come up with 10 songs, I'll come up with 10 songs. And we just would vibe like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, my nephew, he would start making up his own list. Because, like I said, we used to go to Screw House at will. Like, man, I know for sure it's nobody out the clique that made more Screw tapes than me. Nobody. You know what I'm saying?
About how many tapes you think you made?
Man, I made over 100 tapes, man.
Oh, shit.
Well over 100 tapes.
Are they all out or you still got some to yourself?
Oh, well, a lot of them, when I say come from when we weren't naming them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So those tapes, I couldn't even, they just destroyed or whatever. I actually lost them in a house fire.
Okay.
The ones before Screw started naming tapes, all those got burnt up. And my house had caught on fire and all those got burnt up. But the ones where he was putting names on them, all those still exist. You know what I'm saying? They still got those tapes. They still putting them out today.
Yeah.
They still put out tapes with my name on them right now today.
You got a favorite out of all of them?
Nah, I don't really have a favorite Screw tape. I have some that I had the most fun. Like me, when I brought somebody to Screw House, like I say, most of the time it was always out of a joke. So those are the tapes that I had the most fun.
Let's talk about some of
them. Okay, so we can.
The first person you brought to Screw House.
Well, I'm gonna do the first rapper because I brought other people to Screw House that didn't turn out to be rappers. Like I would have like people that would be coming around me rapping, and I would take them to Screw House, and then once we got to Screw House, they'll freeze up. They wouldn't even start rapping. So they was there, but they didn't rap. But the first person that I actually took to Screw House to rap, and he killed it, you know what I'm saying, was Mike D. So I like Mike D was somebody that was, we was cool in the hood or whatever, and he would have these little throwdown radios. He would always be rapping over the instrumental or rapping over somebody's song, and I was just like telling him like, man, really kind of like jokingly. I was like, man, you keep doing all that rapping, I'm gonna take you to Screw House. And he was like, yeah, man, I wanna go. So I ended up taking Mike D to Screw House, and me initially thinking he was gonna freeze up, once Screw turned that mic on, but he didn't. Mike D, he ain't freeze up, man.
Yeah.
He actually
and Codeine
that
Fiend,
was
a classic, man.
And that was the tape Codeine Fiend. And, you know what I'm saying? And Mike D didn't freeze up. Mike D actually wouldn't stop rapping. Like we had to, I had to ask him to chill out. He would not stop rapping, man. That's how I ended up putting 2 freestyles on the tape. And if anybody ever listened to a tape of mine, I only freestyle on the tape 1 because I wasn't really big on freestyling. I was more into Screw mixing and Screw the songs. I wanted to hear the music. You know what I'm saying? But Mike D he kept wanting to rap. So I ended up putting another freestyle. It's a freestyle on both sides of the tape, on A and B.
That's
So
y'all got one more chance and shed so many tears on that, right? I think that's on that.
I know to shed so many tears, and then yeah, it's another freestyle. I can't even, man. I'm tape so long ago.
Yeah.
I can't even. I think was it the Brat or was it? It could have been bigger. It could have been that one more chance. It could have been that.
Yeah.
I didn't freestyle on it.
Yeah.
Mike D did, and then too, you gotta think like a lot of my memory is kind of faded or dense because I was heavy on drinking syrup back then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that kind of distorted my memory a lot. You know, not thinking. I was young. You know, not thinking. But from now, I know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it distorted a lot of my memory.
Yeah. So you saying Mike D? Who else was some more people that you had kind of brought over there?
Mike D was the only one that kind of made it rapping. You know what I'm saying? That kind of, well, he took off rapping like, but like my partner Jiggity J, I brought him over there. Which he in his first freestyle was actually he had ESG on his first Screw tape. He had ESG on there.
That's right.
That's straight from the heart. So he was really excited about that. You know.
So how does that go down? Is it like you finna go to make a tape and ESG happens to be over there, or you call ESG like, hey, I'm finna make a tape, come fuck with me?
See, Screw House was just a hangout. Nobody ever, like, even when June 27 happened, they didn't all call each other and was like, hey, I'm finna go do this tape. You know what I'm saying? People would just, Screw had so many friends that his friends would just come by the house. You come over there, if Screw happened to be making a tape, you just chill and sit in on the tape. You know what I'm saying? But most of the time you came over there, Screw wasn't making a tape. Like, a lot of the times I came to Screw House, he wasn't making a tape. Like, in the earlier days, Screw didn't have a car. And I know a lot of people just know Screw from the Blue Impala, you know what I'm saying? But earlier, Screw didn't have a car. Like I say, Screw was just a normal kid.
Talk a little bit about Screw and his personality and all that, like, around this time when you first met him, you know what I'm saying? Just
so, like, when I first met Screw, he didn't have a car. If he had a car, it wasn't working all the time. So he would like hit me up or I ain't gonna even say I'm just the only person, but he would hit me up and he'll be like, man, I need to go pick up some records. I need to go pick up some tapes or whatever. And, you know, I go scoop him. We'll go to Soundwave, Stick Horse, all these different, you know, and he just shopping for records. You know what I'm saying? He just shopping for records. And he'll go back home. You know, I might just drop him off, or I might sit there for like he pick up something I see, and I'll be like, oh man, I want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I sit there and listen to the records with him. You know what I'm saying? Or if I had something to do, I just drop him off and I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? It was never, I was never mindful of him becoming DJ Screw. You feel what I'm saying? So you just gotta think of it, man, like you just picking up your little nephew for somebody from school and you drop him off and you going on about your business. And that's kind of how I was, but Screw was, I mean, I can honestly say, man, out of all the years I knew Screw, man never had a difference. So I think me and Screw, we took a liking to each other from jump. You know, some people you just click with them, and it's like y'all always on the same page, and no matter, you know what I'm saying, and it's never a confrontation like, you know, man, I want to eat hot dogs, or nah, I want hamburgers. Like, it was never like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So then, man, okay. Talk about Only Rollin' Red, man.
Only Rollin' Red.
The name behind that. Were you right? You had the slab and all this at the time, or like just the name?
Yeah. I, you know, like I said, I was on in the slab from straight out of high school. I was on the slab.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. So, Only Rollin' Red.
Well, tell me about straight out of high school. Tell me about these slabs. Let's talk about these cars.
I mean, because
man,
I was in the
ride.
streets. You know, I don't really like to.
If you don't want to talk about it, it's
I don't
cool,
want to glorify
it.
I don't want to glorify it, but I was in the streets, you know, hustling, doing my thing, whatever.
Yeah.
I guess I don't want to say a normal kid, but at that time in that era, that kind of was.
That's what people was doing.
That's what everybody was doing. So, I guess, like, you know, I was doing my thing, and then, you know, I was on the slab. That's how the whole everybody riding on Randy. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause me and my brother, like, we would always paint our cars red. You know what I'm saying? And at this time, man, the South Side, we was like glue, man. And that Only Rollin' Red, the title was a representation of the South Side. That's where I got that name from, because
they put the stamp on it. This what we ride down here.
And on the South Side, we only Rollin' Red. So that's how the name came up. And man, it was crazy back then how tight we was when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, I don't care, man. If you got a Cadillac, you got a Cadillac. All three of the Cadillacs finna be painted red. We don't care if it's the same car. Like everybody, we riding red. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we would go out of town and pull up at concerts and all kind of events, man. Everybody just in red cars, man. No matter what kind of car it was, and man, that was a different movement back then. You know what I'm saying? It was just, you know. Shout out to everybody that's still on the slab though, you know what I'm saying? It's just like it's kind of different now because they have like everybody want their own color. You know, when we was like you know, cause like on the south side you got a red group of cars, blue group of cars, black, and you know they
Green,
just all kind of colors,
line,
and it's not really no north side south side type thing. It's just like, you know, people on the south side got all kind of color cars. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like the difference from then and now.
Yeah. So what kind of car? What did you have back then?
I had a Sedanville. Sedanville was my first red slab. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, man. I used to love that car, man. I did. I put my heart into that car, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. So tell me, you were telling me, because I was talking to Lil O earlier, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was just like, man, Randy and Rhino, man.
Yeah, man.
Them
Oh,
boys
that's
just
my
so
brother,
real, man. They
That's
just
my
good
brother
people,
for
man.
real.
Like, he just really talked y'all up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was talking about, you know, putting the song on the tape, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, so and it's crazy that you're saying On the Red. I believe that song is on the Red.
it's on there. That's the second
It is.
song
Yeah,
on the
see,
tape.
tell you how
Yeah,
much I
yeah.
really remember about the tapes. And it's the second song, you say?
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
that I mean, because that's how I had gravitated to the song. Like so me and Screw was sitting at his house and we was just like going through music, trying to come up with a full list of songs for me to put on the tape I was about to make. And somebody knock on the door. Dude knock on the door. I'm not paying no attention to who at the door. Screw go to the door, open the door. He talking through the burglar bars or whatever. And the dude like hand Screw a record and was like, man, I want you to listen to my music. He didn't say put it on the tape. He just was like, I want you to listen to the music. So Screw was like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Took the record. Screw brought the record in, put it on the turntable. You know, he listened to it, and as soon as I heard, I can't stop, you know, and then the old school sample came in, I was like, oh, nah, man, that's going on my tape. You know what I'm saying? Right there, like, say, so that record went from.
How many times did y'all listen to that before Screw put it on there? Because
I
he
only
was
listened to
cutting
it-
it
I
up
only,
on
I
there,
only
man.
had to listen to it once. Once I heard it that one time, it was a go for me.
I never knew that was the first time because Screw was going so hard on that shit.
That was the first. I mean, Screw sat there and played it a few times while I was like, Screw was listening to it over and over while I was still looking for the song. So I guess at that time he was
learning
doing
the
his
record.
DJ thing.
Yeah.
He was doing his DJ because once I said, yeah, put that on the tape. You feel what I'm saying? I guess he started listening to it more and more just so he can do his DJ thing and try to get familiar with the record. While I was, I was doing my thing looking for songs, man. Like I say, Screw had a room in his house, man, and it had, man, over 10,000 records. And I mean, you DJ if you was a DJ from the vinyl, you know.
Yeah, no,
how
I
it
started
was.
DJing in 2000. It's vinyl.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
So
yeah, before
if you know
Serato.
from vinyl, man, you had to have the vinyl. There was no MP3s. There wasn't no computer with a. So man, Screw had a room. I mean, stacked with records.
Is this the wood room?
No, this was the back room. The wood room was just where he had his immediate records. That's what that in the wood room, like the records that he had that was behind the turntable were records that from like the new time, like the up to date records. Then he had records that was in storage. Was called like I guess a storage records. That was in another back room in his house. And
Where was his house at? What was this particular house at?
this house was on what is it, Glenstone or Glen Rock or whatever. That when he stayed on the corner. This was after he stayed in Quail Meadows. Like he moved from Quail Meadows, then he moved on Glenstone or Glen Rock, whatever the name of that.
And this
street
is the
was.
one with the gate with the people line. This is where the gate. and
That's
all
the
that?
popular.
Yeah.
That's the known Screw house.
Okay.
When he moved to Missouri City, people really didn't even know about that house. Because, like you say, he moved to Missouri City in like 98. He died in 2000. So he wasn't really in that home for a significant amount of time. You know what I'm saying? But when he was off a telephone roll, he was there for a while. And that's the house that got popular. That's the house that people was coming, hundreds of people was parked outside. When he moved to Missouri City, it wasn't none of all that. Nobody was parked outside waiting on no tapes because he had the Screw shop then. You know what I'm saying? So that's why that house is so popular, because that's the house where the tapes got popular at, and that's the house that most people, if you had a great tape, you came and got it from that house. So that's why that house was so popular. But yeah, man. So we that tape that album went straight from Lil Old Hand to Screw Hand to Only Rolling
Was that a
Red.
popular thing for people to just show up and be like, "Hey man, will you check my music
It was
out?"
getting there. It was getting there. You know what I'm saying? And cause I remember when South Park Mexican coming to Screw House, we was making a tape. Yeah, I remember South Park Mexican. And South Park Mexican had a rhyme that I'd never forget. That cause he kept saying it over and over and over and over. He was sitting outside, him and his homies or whatever. They sitting outside Screw House. He steady was saying, "Give me 2 1/4, I'll bring it from across the border." He would constantly say that. 2 1/4, get it across the border. You know what I'm saying? And man, that lyric just stayed in my head because he kept saying it over and over and over and over. And this before I knew that was gonna be South Park Mexican. You know what I'm saying? I just thought he was just a little expanded guy trying to rap. He had support. That's one thing I say about South Park Mexican, man. He had support. Him and his homies was deep outside, and and
So they would just show up and just rap outside.
yeah, he was just rapping, man, and his homies was down with him, man. They was like, wasn't none of them trying to rap, wasn't none of them getting in the way. They were supporting everything he was doing, man. So, man, shout out South Park Mexican, man. That man I saw he had support from jump, day one. Yeah.
Yeah, so you make only Rolling Red. The tape go on now. I mean, the song go on now. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of people don't know Only Rolling Red is not even like, it's not. I don't know why people gravitated to it, but it's not like
the song selection.
I mean, I get it, but like I say, me when I made the tape, I didn't even feel like it was my best tape.
So what you felt like was your best? Because you were saying best times
I don't
making the tape.
I don't have a favorite tape, but I think the tape that I had the most fun on would have to be Nobody Does It Better, 9-9 Live, and 9-6 Live. Those are tapes that I had the most fun on. And 9-6 Live, I had the most fun on that one because I had one of my homies from Huntsville. It was his first time, and one of my homies from South Park, a childhood friend of mine, Black Mark out the park. I don't know if you listen to it, it'll say Frail out the Ville. That's my homeboy Frail from out of Huntsville. I brought him over there because it was my birthday. So and Black Mark out the park, that was one of my childhood friends. I've been knowing him since like first, second grade, And I had him over there, and them just trying to rap was fun, It was because it was
they just enjoying themselves.
They just enjoying it, man. They just enjoying it, and that was a lot of fun for me, man.
Yeah. So nobody
was in there trying to be a serious rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We came here to have fun, And actually, Screw said the most serious rap on that tape.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Screw wasn't somebody that really freestyled on tapes, but man, we was having so much fun. Screw freestyle. That's just how much fun we was having on that tape, man. Like that tape there was big.
Take me through the process of making the Screw tape. Like, you get the Screw House, you know what I'm saying? How's everything, how with the vibe and everything, like you saying, you know what I'm saying? Everything, bro. Just take me step by step. If you've never been, you know what I'm saying? If you could close your eyes and walk in the Screw House, how's it going down when you put your tape in together, when you putting everything together?
Well, for me, like I said, most of my tapes came at a spur of the moment.
Yeah.
If I planned the tape with Screw, the only time I really planned the tape with Screw is when we used, like I said, when he first started, we would just write the songs down, give him the list because he was still staying with his father in some apartment, so Screw couldn't have all that company like that at the time. And what we would have to do is just write the songs on a piece of paper,
leave your list,
give him the list, and he'll say, "Hey, come pick up the tape." So those tapes were planned, but like. Other tapes is be like I come by Screw House, or say if I just pick Screw up and I'm finna drop him off and he finna go in there and listen to music or whatever. I get out, go in there and listen to music, and then if I'm like feeling a lot of the records that he doing, I'll be like, man, let's record a tape. You know what I'm saying? And we'll record a tape, and that's kind of pretty much how making a Screw tape went.
Yeah.
For me, it was they was almost never really planned. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like go by school and school. Or sometimes like if I came by school house and like he was doing something or had something to say, if he was like dubbing tapes or something, he'd be like, man, come Friday. And then we'll do the tape on a Friday or do the tape, or he'll be like, man, come Tuesday or whatever. If he told me to come back at another day because he was doing something, that's the only way the tape was really playing for me, through my experience of making the screw tapes.
Yeah. So man, we was talking about the red and just the screw and everything. Like talk a little bit about just the north side and the south side and just how much that played a part into the tapes. Because I mean that shit was heavy. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it really didn't play a big part into the tapes, but it was just.
Oh, it came across. It was like
it was a way of life.
Yeah.
At that time, like making screw tapes was a way of life. The north side, south side was a way of life. Drinking syrup, that was a way of life. It just all that stuff was boiled into one.
It just came together.
I don't think the music outweighed all that because in the initiative, it was all about making the great tapes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Making the screw tapes, whatever you want to call it. But man, that north side, south side stuff really was a beef that got blown out of proportion because of the popularity of those tapes. Like people wouldn't even know about the north side, south side stuff if it wasn't for the screw tapes. Because how it made it on the screw tapes is because how I'm telling you, like when we made a screw tape, nobody is thinking that this tape is supposed to surface the world. So it's like you just going to your homeboy house and
just
talking
keeping
about,
it real.
You just talking about what's experiencing in your life. And
yeah.
it had got to a point to where people wasn't even experiencing the north side, south side, but they was talking about it on the tape. You feel what I'm saying? Like if your car never got stolen or something like that, you really didn't have no business even talking about the north side, south side, because that's what it was. South side, we was serious about fixing our cars up, and we would talk about that. If you listen to Screw Tapes in the beginning, all we did was talking about, man, I'm coming down, riding forward. We talked about the slab, and once the tapes got popular, the north side keyed in on coming and stealing the slab. I guess that was their thing on the north side, was stealing. Our thing was hustling. I'm not talking about them or trying to. I'm just saying what's real.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what's real. On the south side, we wasn't thinking about stealing. Even though it wasn't popular. You're gonna have people that do everything, steal, sell drugs, kill, all everywhere. But the popular thing to do on the south side was to hustle and fix your slab up. That what was popular for us. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you got people that do all kind of things, but I'm saying what was popular. You know what I'm saying? And man, like I say, and I think our big problem was we kind of used to tell on ourselves, because we would talk about, I'm going bam to get the slab washed. Northside hear that tape, they already know, man, I'm gonna go hang out in front of Bam's and follow somebody home and steal their car. And that's pretty much how it went, man. You know what I'm saying? Bam was like a slab hub for the south side. So when we would go up there, not half of the time we would leave our cars up there. So we coming to pick our car up, we not knowing this dude been sitting across the churches waiting on me to come and get in my car. And I pull out my slab, he follow me, and I don't even know he follow me. You know what I'm saying? That's how one of my brother's slabs that got stolen like that before, man. Leaving, bam, we go home. We got the car blocked in, everything, man. They still steal the car. We go pick the car from the north side.
Wait, so how you know it'd be on the north side or something like that?
I mean, when you call them and report the car stolen, and the police,
then they would tell you.
Yeah, back then the police would tell you come to where the car was. So the police would be like, "Oh, we found a car over here. It's off of Rosewood, whatever the case may be." And we go pick the car up.
Damn.
Because back then you had to clear a tow truck to tow your car. You know what I'm saying? A tow truck couldn't just come and pick your car up and take it to the wreck truck. Back then, you had to say, "Oh man, it's totaled," or "Oh man, it can't drive." Just tow it. You know what I'm saying? Because back then, if you had, like, say if your car got stolen and the tires was gone, if you come with some tires, you can take your car. You feel what I'm saying? The police, they're going to make that report that the car was stolen. You can drive, you know what I'm saying? But nowadays, if police see a car and they ain't got no wheels on it, they can call a tow truck and you can go pick it up from the record yard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
That's
right,
how
right.
it is now, but back then it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean the screw thing is going, you know what I'm saying? Who was the first person you heard to make another slow down tape after, like once Screw got going? Because I mean it was other people. It wasn't I don't think it was just Watts. Like you had people on the south side that did slow down tapes too, right?
Yeah. I think Bone was the first one that I remember the first time and how Bone had really came about because like I say, it had got to a point where Screw couldn't make a tape for everybody. You know, man, Screw was popular, man. He like everybody couldn't get in there. So like there was a lot of dudes that was messing with Screw that ended up going to Bone because Screw couldn't do the tape as frequent.
So that's when, because it's a part on there that you was like, man, I'm gonna get this nigga to do the tape, and now, man,
And that's what that come from. That come from people that I knew that was going to Bone.
that originally fucked with Screw.
I mean, you had no choice but to originally fuck with
Yeah.
Screw because he was the one that
He
started.
started, yeah.
But people, I don't know if it was like they didn't have the loyalty or they didn't have the patience. I don't know what their issue was with going to Bone. I didn't understand it, and that's their reason. That's fine with them. You know what I'm saying? But to me, I just wasn't with it, man. You know what I'm saying? It was like I had to keep it original, keeping it true. Not even saying that my intentions was to keep it original then. I just was like, man, Screw do my tapes, that's who gonna do my tapes. I don't care about, you know, Larry Curly and Mo doing the tapes now. I you know, man, because I never had a difficult time getting a Screw tape made because it wasn't just about making the tapes with Screw. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, if I made a tape, it was just at the spur of the moment. Like, and most people, they had got to the point to where their intentions was to make a Screw tape. And Screw didn't really like that. Like, people like figuring like, oh, that's the only reason you want to mess with me is to make a tape. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people don't figure out that's why I made so many Screw tapes because I wasn't there for the tapes. You know what I'm saying? Screw was my partner, man. Screw needed a ride to Jack in the Box. Screw needed a ride to Soundwave, Sticker, whatever, you know, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? I was there. You know what I'm saying? Me and Screw, like, we did stuff outside of making the music together. So
Yeah. So then, did Screw have an issue with that when the Bone started? Because it was on the south side. I mean, I know
definitely Screw had an issue with anybody. And I'm going to tell you, and just to be clear, what Screw issue was. It wasn't the issue that they was making the tapes or slowing the tapes down or putting their talent, recording their talent. He didn't care about that. Everybody can slow down the tape. His issue was them calling it a Screw tape because his name was Screw. So, you know, it's like somebody making a fake Gucci. You know, Gucci does not appreciate you putting their logo on your clothes and saying it's Gucci. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's the same way Screw was. He just like, I mean, nobody, man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not going to like nobody putting your name on something that they did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his own issue with the whole ordeal, man. And after that, the beefs kind of got blown out of proportion. Like, he didn't have a problem with Watts himself. Like, he had a problem with Watts saying that that's a Screw tape. He had a problem with Bone saying that's a Screw tape. That was the only issue.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess I can understand at the time, but it eventually, I mean, Screw now is like a genre.
Now it's a genre.
Yeah.
You know. But like you say, a lot of people it's hard for you to take your mind to the era of when it started because Screw's so popular.
Yeah.
And people only can see him from the popular time. They don't see him
You know, I understand it. Because he ain't looking at it like I'm a genre. He looking at it like I'm a man.
He looking at it like I'm a man and you using my name.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Now, he didn't have a problem with you slowing your record down or doing your music and doing your mixtape, but just say, you know, mixed by such and such or slowed down by such and such. Don't say, oh, I got a Screw tape. I mean, come on and just really think about that. You know what I'm saying? Just really think. Would you want somebody saying that their product is named after you? Nah, ain't no way, you know?
Yeah. Huh. Okay, so shit, what was your last Screw tape?
My last Screw tape was 99 Live.
That was the last one.
That was the last one I did, man. That tape there is really really sentimental, and I held on to that tape for a long time because I still had the original copy from Screw. You know, the original first copy of the tape, and I had the tape, man. I just had the tape in my closet for a long time, and so the University of Houston ended up reaching out to me, and at the time they were trying to get an original copy of a Screw tape, a great tape, and nobody wanted to come off their great tapes because everybody, you know, they that's sentimental. That's like gold. You know, it's like people like, nah, I'm not gonna give you the original copy. And man, it took everything in me, but I did it, man. And what they were doing an archive, a museum
Yeah,
archive.
I've been to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna get him the 99 Live. I felt like it was more valuable for my tape to be in that museum than to be just sitting in my closet. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't looking to sell the tape or nothing like that. So I was like, I'm gonna get him the tape, man. You know what I'm saying? This way, it'll continue his legacy. You know, when you have something that's etched in stone, it can last forever. So the University of Houston has an original, authentic copy of a DJ Screw tape.
That's live. Y'all gotta check that out.
99 Live.
Yeah, I think that's in the U of H library, if I'm
Yeah,
not
it's in
mistaken.
the library.
Yeah.
It's in the library. And yeah, that was the last tape, man. Unfortunately, I got incarcerated like right after I made that tape, man.
No shit.
Yeah.
So when Screw passed away, you was already.
I was incarcerated when Screw passed away, you know. And I did a documentary one time, and I kind of just want to clear up too. That documentary that I did, they had a narrator that wasn't on set when I told my story about me getting off syrup and all that stuff like that. So Screw passing had nothing to do with
Can
me.
you talk about it? Because I don't know this.
Okay, so I did a documentary. For this company. I think they were out of Germany or something, and it was on. The documentary is called Drug Inc. And it's called High in Houston. You can look it up on YouTube or whatever the case may be. But they end up, so it was a group of people, some people, they came and they interviewed me, and we talked about Serb, and because I got off of Serb. And
was it a reason, or I mean,
it wasn't no reason. It wasn't. No, it wasn't. That was the whole. They tried to make the reason. The narrator said that the reason that I got off of Serb was because Screw died from Serb. That's false. That is not. That was not the reason I stopped. Screw passed away in 2000. I was incarcerated. Screw passing had nothing to do with me getting off of Serb, and that's just plain and simple. I went to jail in '99. So, you know, when I came home in 2001, that was I wasn't doing anything. It didn't just have to do with Serb. I said I was gonna live my life completely sober after that. Once I came, because I hadn't drunk Serb in 3 years. Why would I go back to that? You feel what I'm saying? There was no reason for me.
Do you
to
feel
do
like
that.
Serb, just on a realer level, do you feel like Serb and all that played a role into you getting locked up and everything?
I mean,
Because I'm gonna talk to you like, I mean, I know what it is.
I understand where you come. I don't really want to.
We ain't gonna talk
I
about
guess
it.
I can. I guess I can.
I'm just asking because it's a lesson to learn in there, 'cause you don't do it no.
But see, it didn't come from the point of me using Serb. The point that I was hustling it.
Yeah.
That's what got me incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? It didn't come. Me using it didn't play a really important anything. It was me making money off of it. You feel what I'm saying? I forgot to cut my ring off, man. But yeah, you know that I think it just came from the point of me hustling it. That's how I got incarcerated. So
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you get out. You know what I'm saying? Screws passed away.
yeah, man. I was on lock. Took it hard, man. Took it real hard too, man.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like I said, I remember one time somebody had posted and he was like, man, I was on lock when Screw passed. I was in the same cell with you. You know, of course, I don't remember nobody like that or whatever. But he was like, man, I remember you took it hard because, man, I was in there tripping. I was in there kicking bunks. And it's crazy. I'm going to tell you how I heard about it. I got the word about Screw passing through C-Note from the Botany Boys. he was down close to where I was incarcerated at, and they was about to do a show, and he was on the radio promoting the concert, and he said, "Man, it's unfortunate I have to pass the news that DJ Screw passed away." So this guy come running in my cell. He like, "Man, turn on the radio, turn on the radio. See no from the Bottom Boys on the radio." He talking about Screw passed. I was like, "Man, go on with that." You know what I'm saying? So I turned on the radio and he said it. I'm like, "What?" Oh, I just flipped out, man. I just flipped out because at that time when I was incarcerated, I started taking rapping serious. I had wrote a whole album, and my intentions was when I got out, I was gonna take me and Screw relationship to the next level of me taking rap serious. You feel what I'm saying? And I still came home and I still recorded the album. I just never put it out because I just wasn't really into it. I got back out of it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't take rapping serious. You know what I'm saying? And then from that point, I guess people understood me and Screw relationship and all the tapes that I did. People just started asking me to do the tapes. They was like, "Man, you know what? You should start doing Screw tapes." I was like,
So you weren't DJing or nothing?
"Man, I wasn't DJ. I wasn't even thinking about DJing. Never even crossed my mind.
Oh shit.
Never." And then nobody ever taught me. Screw never taught me. Screw never said, "Hey, you do this like this," because there was never my intentions to DJ ever. You know what I'm saying? But
Seen it a million times.
Exactly. So self-taught. It was self-taught. So I seen Screw make these tapes so many times, and I knew everything that he did. Like, even not trying to know. It's just I saw him do, so you know what I'm saying? Like, I saw him pick out records, so I know what he did when he picked out records. So, you know what I'm saying? I know what he did right here. I know, you know what I'm saying? I seen him mixing, like, so I remember his hands doing this. I remember, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I know all that. You know what I'm saying? And so I just took my memory, and like I said, back then I was in the streets. I had money. Man, I went and bought some DJ equipment and taught myself. You know what I'm saying? It took me about, I don't know, it took me about 8-9 years to kind of get it down. But
so what year did you feel like
I'm still learning.
What year did you feel like, all right, I'm ready now? What year would you say that was?
To start putting out tapes?
Yeah.
About 2008, 2009.
2008, 2009. So when you started putting them out, are you linking up with the clique and y'all doing them how y'all used to do them?
Yeah. But in the beginning, all my takes from the beginning was with the clique. Like, everybody I did, C, No, Lil, O, like everybody all the tapes that I was doing, you know what I'm saying? But I felt like that was kind of like limitation. That was me limiting myself because Screw didn't do it like that. Like, I didn't look at me like only doing tapes with people that were known, because that's not how Screw did. Screw gave everybody a chance. So that's why I still do my tapes. Like, anybody that want to do a tape, I'm going to do the tape. Because it's not for me to stop you from being who you destined to be. And I'm not going to say, I ain't going to do the tape for you just because you ain't Screwed Up Click. Because Screw, he organized the Screwed Up Click. You know what I'm saying? But we were just kids coming to him as a DJ. So, you feel what I'm saying? So, he didn't stop nobody from saying, "Hey, can you do me a tape?" He didn't say, "Nah, you ain't such and such, so I ain't going to do the tape." So, that's kind of like how I move right now. You know what I'm saying? So, it don't matter. You can be Jay-Z or you can be Lil Rah from on the corner. Want me to do a tape, I'm going to do the tape.
Yeah, that's what's up. So you got the tapes, you got the website and everything, you know what I'm saying? Got all the merch and everything, you know what I'm saying? We can talk about that.
So, like, even like right now, with digital distribution, so right now the way you put out CDs, the way you get your music, I mean, people still press up CDs. I'm not really into pressing up CDs anymore. I'm kind of like thinking futuristic, so I do more like downloads, USB, streaming, stuff like that. And with the streaming distribution, they are able to recognize a song. And of course, you know, like most mixtapes have other people's songs on them. So it's more difficult for me to put out a mixtape, because even with the music being slow, it's still recognizable. You know what I'm saying? So it's harder for me to put out mixtapes now. So I have to reach out more to local artists that are allowing me to put their music out that's not recognizable, because I can't take a popular artist song and put it out. You know what I'm saying? I know people think it's that simple, but it's not that
Yeah,
simple.
nah,
You know what I'm
them
saying?
little things pick up on all that shit, man.
Yeah, that little, what they call it, Shazam, or
Whatever them little scanners is, they
yeah,
got
the little
inside the
scanner.
thing. Yeah.
So, because nowadays, artist doesn't have to make duplications of his song. Like when an artist make a song, he give it to the digital distribution, and it's distributed everywhere one time. So that's gonna pick up on the radar. It's not like back when he was pressing up CDs and he had to, it was easy for somebody to screw his music and still put it out because there's no radar picking it up. You know what I'm saying? But now it's a radar that pick it up, so it's kind of a little more difficult to put in. But I'm cool with it. Like I say, I got an album coming out right now. The album is titled Slab King, which really come from a mixtape series that I started, and so I turned that. It's kind of similar to what Screw did with 3 in the Morning. You know what I'm saying? 3 in the Morning was actually just a mixtape that Screw did. He revamped it and turned it into a studio mixtape, and that's kind of what I'm doing with Slab King. Is I'm getting local artists that's talking about riding a slab, putting it all on the mixtape. Man, and the mixtape coming out real good. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, it'd be hard to find good music, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody kind of like talk about the same thing or got bad production and stuff like that, and anybody know me. If you listen to my Screw tapes, I'm critical when it comes to music choices, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm real, real critical. And I'm real, I critique music. Like,
Yeah, now I could tell, man. That's one thing me and O was talking about. I was like, dog, he always had the best list, man.
Cause I be lit. I mean, I'm gonna listen to the hook, the verse, the beat, the ad libs. I'm listening to everything. It gotta be right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't let too much slide. But other than that, I'm still doing my mixtapes, still doing Screw tapes. Anybody can hit me up, man. S.U.C music.com. If you just want your own personal tape, you know what I'm saying? And I just like for people to understand that I'm not guaranteed to make you popular when I do your tape, because Screw tapes are meant for your personal enjoyment. Now, if you want to do a project that's different, say you're a rapper and you got your music, that we can do the paperwork or whatever it takes to get this album out with me screwing and chopping it. You know what I'm saying? But people that come to me and they just want these normal industry lists done, and they want me to put it on the internet and make them popular. And I mean, it don't really go like that. You know what I'm saying? I can do what I can do by selling it to people on the street, like my fans that be like still want CDs and want downloads and stuff. Like, I can get it to them, but the masses, like, have your music streaming on iTunes and all that, that's really difficult. It's really difficult to do.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, that's what's up, man. So, all right, before we get up out of here, top 5 in the S.U.C. Who's your top 5? S.U.C.
Top 5? What you mean, like
top 5?
Rapping?
Rapping. Top 5.
Man, I don't even want to do nobody like that, man. I don't want to do nobody like that. I mean, I think the movement was so great, man, and I thank God for even putting Screw in all of our lives for us to be, no matter where you at right now, you know what I'm saying? God put somebody in place in all of our lives to have us where we're able to still do it. Because, like, man, just think about it, man, it's 20 years later, and anybody that's still in it, if you making $1, you still able to do something right now, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's what it is. Because, like I said, I don't really have a popular person, man. Like, because a lot of people don't even realize a lot of the Screw tapes I never even heard of them. Like, if it wasn't a Screw tape that I made, because like I say, Screw tapes was personal tapes, so I never listened to somebody else's tape because I didn't have to, because I made my own tapes. So, like, a lot of the Screw tapes, man, I have no idea who owned the tape, who made the tape, what's on the tape. I have no idea. Yeah.
Already. That's what's up, man. Well, shit, I appreciate you coming through, man.
For sure, man. I appreciate you having me, bro.
Already.
It was a pleasure, man.
Already.
I seen your star line list. I said, man, yeah, let me go, man. You reached out to me. I was like, yeah, let me go up here, man. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I appreciate it, man, for
Because
sure.
I really don't even do interviews no more. A lot of people don't even know that.
Yeah.
I don't do interviews no more, man, because you know, people they get it to where it's so conjunct now. Like most people, their shows will be 30 minutes to an hour or whatever. So they'll have 11 artists up there, you know. And I'm not a person like I don't really talk a lot, and I'm not finna.
You got to get a whole lot in a little bit of time.
And I'm not finna wrestle with nobody or trying to get in what I got to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I do, man. All my interviews exclusive. Like if it's not just gonna be me, we'll just have to schedule it when it can just be me, because I'm not finna be trying to out talk nobody, or you know having to focus over here on this person and all that. I just don't do that no more, man.
Yeah. So okay. One last thing. If you had to talk about Screw, if you wanted people to know who DJ Screw was as a person, you know what I mean? We know the music. I just want to talk about DJ Screw as a person, you know what I mean? For anybody who doesn't know, or how you would just want him to be remembered as.
I mean, DJ Screw as a person, first and foremost, I want to say he was very confident. And he was very mindful of himself. He believed in himself before anybody did. And I think that's a lot of trait that a lot of people need to take, is Screw really believed in himself. And Screw was very, very creative. He was, I mean, like he was one of them people that believed in creating a way. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a lot of, I mean, I don't want to just go on and on, but just to give a story about how he was creative. When he went to Screw, first went to 97.9 trying to get a Screw show on the radio, they denied him. Screw went back and said, you know what, I'm going to create my own radio station. I'm going to use my tapes as radio. And so he created his own way. He was trying, you know.
So he did try to get on the radio first.
Oh, yeah, man. You want to hear that story?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right, man. So the DJ Screw in 97.9 story. So DJ Screw knew a DJ named DJ Chill.
I know Chill, yeah.
Okay, him and Chill was real close. Chill was the first person that was a DJ that came around Screw that I saw. That, you know, besides Screw DJing, Chill was a DJ too. Him and Chill would actually share equipment. Screw only had one turntable. Chill had one turntable. They used to, you know, share turntables. If one didn't have a gig, they would get the other one so he could have two turntables. Other than that, you would have to try to DJ one turntable and a cassette tape. So DJ Chill worked the street team at 97.9 back then. He was like on a promotion team. And
this around what year?
What year was this? I want to say 95, 96, somewhere around there. About 95, 96.
So the Screw thing is going.
Screw started the Screwed Up Click in 94, 93, 94. So, yeah, his tapes was already moved. I mean, Matt Hatter knew who he was. He knew his name, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't understand his music. So, when Screw was trying to get the so DJ Chill set up the meeting, right? And Screw called me and said he needs to go to a meeting. So, I go pick Screw up. I take him up to 90. I'm not knowing where we going or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I pick Screw up, take him. We go up to the 97.9 building, Greenway. We go up there. Mad Hatter. I didn't know who Mad Hatter. I knew him from radio, but I didn't know who he was. Mad Hatter. I knew DJ Chill. So Mad Hatter, DJ Chill, me, and Screw was in the meeting. We in a little like studio, little studio room or whatever. And so Mad Hatter was like, well, let me hear what you got. You know what I'm saying? So Screw first thing he do is, I mean, you know about DJing. So Screw first thing he did was he unhooked the turntables from the mixer and crossed them. You know what I'm saying? So he had where the normal left turntable
the left on the
was
right and the right on
actually
the
being
left.
controlled. And I DJ like that now because that's how I learned from watching him. You know, and a lot of DJs don't DJ like that. They
I can't do it. I tried it. I can't do it.
But that's how I DJ. Like if the table is really on the left and the mixer go to the left, I can't DJ like that. I get thrown off. But anyway, so when DJ Screw did that, Matt had off top got upset. He was like, "Oh no, you can't do that. I don't appreciate you hooking up the equipment." So Chill was like, "No, just let him do his thing." So Screw put on the record. Screw, he slowed the record down or whatever with the pitch, and Matt Howard just straight up was like, before Screw even finished playing the first song, he was like, "Man, this ain't gonna never make it on radio.
Damn.
I don't see nobody want to listen to this, man." Basically, it was like, "Man, this sound crazy. I know nobody want to hear that." And man, Screw was really upset, because he felt like he didn't even give him a chance. You know what I'm saying? And then it's crazy because like after that, y'all start a whole Screw out on the radio. Like that's like y'all most popular show on the radio. And they only gave him his props once he passed away. It's just crazy, man. It's really sad, man, for people not to at least give you a try or give you a chance. Like put it on and let your listeners say no. Cancel that show. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even give him a chance.
Yeah.
Like I say, he took back. Now look where his tapes and all that. Look where he at now. And he not even here.
Yeah. That's crazy you said that because it's like a couple years later, Pimp the Pen came out and that was on the radio like crazy.
Right.
They 979 definitely played that. I remember that.
Right.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. We got any more stories before we get about it? I wasn't expecting that one. That was a good one.
Man, I have a million of them. You know what I'm
was a good
saying?
one.
But as far as DJ Screw,
or whatever, shit. It could be some Southside shit. It could be some Houston history shit. It could be whatever it is, whatever you got.
Man, we'll be in here all day. Let me see.
You got time, man. Mike D came for damn near 3 hours,
yeah,
man.
For real.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you a history about just a Screw tape and just me and Screw tapes. So, if people don't know, it's a lot of tapes that I did with Screw that's called live tapes. 96, 97, 98, 99. I started those tapes in 96. Now there is a 95 live, which a lot of people don't know. I didn't do that tape. I didn't even know that tape existed when I started the live. So
was you naming them after the game at the time?
I was naming them after the game.
Yeah, everybody was on the game.
Because when I made 96 live, we actually was playing the game before I did the tape. And we was having so much fun playing the game, I said I'm gonna name the tape that. You feel what I'm saying? And then when I found out that the game come out with a new one every year, that's when I started naming my tapes the whatever year it was live. That's how the live name came about from the game. You know what I'm saying? So, me making 99 live, I was the only person out the clique that did a mixtape series, which is the lives. Every year I did nobody else did such and such a volume 1, such and such a volume 2. Nobody else did a series. So and with the lives, I remember when I was incarcerated, I talked to Screw, and he was like, it was 2000 for the roll around. He was like, man, everybody coming to me and they want to do 2000 live, and he was like, I was telling them, which I couldn't figure out why they wanted to. I'm like, why everybody wanted? But I guess it got popular and they just wanted to be the person. Oh, I did the 2K live, you know what I'm saying, to try to get that fame or whatever. And Screw was like, I told him, nah, man, I can't do that. He was like, Lil Randy ain't got a life sentence. He coming home. I'm gonna start the lives back up when he come back home. You know what I'm saying? And he would just always give me shout outs, free Lil Randy on lock, from the time that I was incarcerated. Mm-hmm. And that was just his loyalty, man. Like, he didn't have to do that. He could have made the tape for somebody else, but he understood what I was doing and what me and him had going on. And he was like, nah, I ain't gonna even do the tape. And so another history about the 99 live is, the 96 live, the first live that I did. 96 live was the first mixtape that Screw did that wasn't outside the studio, where he had 3 songs playing. A lot of people don't even understand that first song that's on 96 live, I think it's Crisscross.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 songs playing on it.
But he had a tape deck going?
He had a tape deck, 2 turntables. That was the first and only time Screw did that on a mixtape. Yeah, that's the only time. Other than that, he did it on 3 in the morning. Now, he did do that on 3 in the morning. That's where I got the idea from. And another thing about 9-6 Live, what we was talking about earlier was that's the actual, just like how Lil O was the first, that Only Road in Red was the first one, that popular June 27 beat with The Streets Ain't Right, that instrumental, 9-6 Live was the first tape that instrumental was on. That was the instrumental that we freestyle off of. That tape was made in January, and June 27 didn't come out till 6 months later in June.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so and you picked that beat because
I picked that beat because Screw had just come from record shopping, and he was opening up records and listening to records. And when I heard that beat, and I hit the Biggie at the time, Biggie and Pac was popular back then. So I heard the Biggie sample on there, and I was like, man, I'm gonna freestyle off of that. I like the way that beat sound, and we went with it, man. And I'm telling you, that's why Screw freestyle on it, because the beat was the first time he heard the beat, and it was like, so.
And that beat just went on to become so legendary, bro. That shit,
Yeah,
man. H-Time made it more popular than Jermaine Dupri, man.
he
Shit.
did. He had. I think Jermaine Dupri had went back and remixed it or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, Screw made, man, that Screw tape, that June 27 made that song. So, I mean, oh man, I know they sold over 1 million copies of the June 27 mixtape.
Yeah.
That's that tape probably sold more copies than 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning was a studio album.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably so. Probably shit worldwide on the cool.
Yeah, man. And let me see. Another good story. Something that's probably outside of DJ Screw. I mean, this is something else that the people need to understand about Screw. Is Screw wasn't in picture perfect health. Because I know a lot of people like to put that stamp on. He died from drinking syrup or whatever the case may be. That man, Screw was already having seizures. When Screw passed away, Nikki was running him back and forth to the hospital every other week. You feel what I'm saying? Because he was not in picture perfect health. And no, drinking syrup was not the cause of his death. That didn't have nothing to do with him dying. Not saying it helped it or it prevented it, but it was not the cause. It's not one time you can read a DJ Screw autopsy and the autopsy say cause of death was syrup. All that was media frenzy. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the false narrative that people just need to stop promoting about DJ Screw. I mean, like, that's all false, man. I mean, it makes a good story, but it's not true.
Yeah. Are you gonna be a part of the Screw thing they doing with the museum on the 5th?
Nobody haven't reached out to me. Somebody probably reached out to me before that time. So
Yeah,
I'm quite sure I would.
They doing something at the man, what is it called? One of the museums. I forgot the official name of it, but it's one of the art museums in Houston. They doing like a Screw like exhibit.
Now I do have a booking for art museum. I want to say it's June the 8th or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know if it's probably the same thing.
I don't know. They might be someone doing
but
something different.
it's at the art museum. It's at an art museum.
Huh.
Downtown.
And it's in June?
It's in June. I want to say it's June the 8th or something like that. I'm going to have to look at my schedule, but I know it's sometime in June.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hell yeah. Well, shit, man. We can go. You got anything else before we get up out of here?
Nah, but I think that's it. Like I say, you would have to ask me a direct question for me to come up with a story.
Yeah. We're going to do a part 2, man, because I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I got, like I said, man, I got a lot, man. I got over 30 years of history balled up, you know what I'm saying? Man, Man, I was with 3 almost every day before he passed away, man.
No shit.
Three, another one of them dudes that was like my brother, man. Like 2 is somebody else too, man. I used to like if I had a show, man, I would make sure 2 was on the show, whether he was, somebody booked him or not. Like I would pay 2 out of what I was getting paid. You know what I'm saying? And like man, me and 2 would always go out of town. It was always because like another guy, I don't know if you know Easy Money. He's Egg Burnett, but he was putting out a lot of 2 albums, and I was DJing for him at the time. So me and 3 would be on a lot of shows together, man. And he was another dude that was always trying to make sure 3 had a check. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people just they just didn't want to fool with 3, you know what I'm saying, because of the drug use and all this other stuff, man. But 3 was a good dude, man. He really was. He really was a good dude, man. It's just like a lot of people would encounter him while he was on drugs and it wouldn't be good, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody that's on drugs is going to, like if you encountered me while I was on syrup, it ain't going to be good because I'm going to be sleepy and drowsy. You're going to be like, hey, what the hell wrong with Randy? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. And it's just like it is. Like a lot of time people encounter people when they're under the influence and it don't be good. And you get that rap. You know what I'm saying? So, but man, I got a bunch of 3-2. Man, I remember, so I don't smoke. You probably know that now. But so I don't smoke. And man, me and 3, we go out of town. I got booked well, it was Huntsville, some little country town. Could have been Huntsville, but so we go out there, we did the show, and I was like, man, 3, I got a show. You know what? Lil O was on that ticket too. So I think Lil O was the headliner. So man, we going outside. I was like, 3, man, what you doing? I got a show. All right. So I go pick up 3, man, we go do the show, whatever. So we come back and 3 steady, man, I need to smoke a cigarette. I was like, shit, bro, you can't smoke no cigarette in here. You know what I'm saying? You have to wait till I drop you off or whatever. So he like, all right. Man, I'm just driving. All of a sudden, I smell a cigarette. I'm like, 3, I just told you, bro, you can't smoke. And he like, oh, my bad. Then he put the cigarette out in my ashtray. I was like, 3, you killing me, man. You killing me, 3. So, yeah, but, we laughed about it or whatever. And like, yeah, man, 3 was crazy, man. Yeah, he was hard-headed, too, man. 3 was hard-headed, man. But it was all in fun. It was all laughter, though, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, 3 gonna make you laugh. If he don't do nothing else, he gonna make you laugh, man. And he was another one of them dudes that was a creative, man. He had his own slang, he had his own style, he had his own way of rap. Like you heard a 3-2 song, you knew that was 3. You didn't mistake him for nobody else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he had his own slang, all that old big baby and all that stuff come from 3-2, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He one of them ones, man, that's kind of unsung, man, that really started a lot of shit.
Started a lot. Like, even with the Death Row, you know what I'm saying? Like, 3 had a lot to do with the startup of Death Row. A lot of people don't even know that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Snoop whole little swag in the beginning came from 3-2.
Yeah. Which Snoop gave it up when he died and shit. That was tight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did, but, people that was close to 3 knew that before that. You know what I'm saying? We knew it in the 90's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what it is, man.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to see, man. I got another 3-2 story, man. So 3-2 started Southside Players. Now 3-2, they would come him, Mike D. I don't even think Fat Pat was even part of Southside Players then when they first started. It was him, Mike D, and my brother. They was trying to get my brother to take rapping serious. My brother, he didn't want to write. He wanted to do everything freestyle. And 3-2 was like, nah, 3-2 already knew about real
he
rap.
Was already a
He
rap
was
for
already
real.
seasoned, you know what I'm saying? Mike D was getting there. Mike D wasn't afraid to write, you know what I'm saying? So my brother was like, nah, man, that ain't how we do it at Screwhouse, Mike. And 3 was like, man, this ain't Screwhouse, man. We finna put out an album. This, you know what I'm saying? So my brother wouldn't never write. But of course, you know, my brother, that's where everybody came to drink and smoke. That's me and my brother, 'cause like I say, we was young, living by ourselves or whatever. And so everybody would come and just hang out at our house, you know, everybody getting lit, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And 3-2 was trying to get my brother to start writing, and he just wouldn't. And that's how 3-2 ended up bringing in Fat Pat and Clay into Southside Players.
No shit.
But my brother was actually
He was
the
original
original
Southside Player.
Southside Player. He didn't want to write. He didn't want to write. So 3 was like, man, I'm not putting out no freestyles. You know what I'm saying? And which was really a good thing though, because man, when Pat started coming over there, and a lot of Pat, he wrote down, but he freestyled it first. Like Pat'll be thinking about what he want to say, and then he'll go back and write it down. You feel what I'm saying? So,
You got some Fat Pat stories?
man, Fat Pat's story. When Fat Pat was writing, when he was working on the Rec Shop album, Tops Drop album, what was
Ghetto
it? Ghetto
Dreams,
Dreams.
yeah.
When he was working on Ghetto Dreams, so like I said, I stayed right around the corner. I stayed walking distance from Bam Detail Shop. And so one day, Pat had his car up at Bam, getting washed up. He walked down to my house. Like I say, my house is where everybody kind of like hung out. You know what I'm saying? So Pat, he knock on the door, boom, boom, boom. I come to the door. He fly. He super. I mean, this is his natural talk. Hey, baby, what's up, baby? What y'all in there doing, baby? You know what I'm saying? I got some grass, baby. I got a couple of squares. Y'all want to blow, whatever. So you know what I'm saying?
It's hilarious that everybody has come up here and basically did the same impersonation.
That's
dog.
him, man.
What's up, baby? What's going down?
Yeah, that's him, man. That was what's up? Yeah, say, baby.
He was just live like that all the time?
He was just live like that all the time. So I got a couple squares. So you know what I'm saying? I tell my brother, I said, man, go on, pour up some drinks. So we pour up some drink. Pat rolling up. You know what I'm saying? And man, he got the blowing and smoking. Man, I want y'all to hear what I'm working on. You know, and I'm telling this man right hand to man. The man starts talking about get old dream. He's singing. You know, me and my brother, we sitting there drinking. You know, my brother, he was blowing too. But I was just drinking. So, I'm sitting there, I'm drinking. They blowing and drinking, and he get the get old dream. But at this time, I think this song not hot.
Yeah,
we just
he just coming over here just giving you just
he just shit. Like, man, y'all listen to this. You know what I'm saying? And he did the whole Cuddy Light, which really wasn't on. That song
ended up being the Kiki song, right?
That ended up being somebody else's song, but Fat Pat wrote that song. That was a Fat Pat song. Yeah, that Cuddy Light, this some serious smoke. That Fat Pat. That's Fat Pat. That is Fat Pat's song. So, man, the man come over there, he just singing and rapping and singing, you know what I'm saying? And man, we ended up taking him back. You know, he done got us crunk. We done jumped in the slab, took him up there to take his car from Bam. And went on about our way, man. But yeah, man, that man came to my house, walked down there. You know what I'm saying? It ain't but 2 streets, but he walked to my house. Hey, man, I'm up there. I'm getting the car washed, man. I want y'all boys to hear what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? And then, man, he ended up getting killed, man. And the Ghetto Dreams album still came out. But, man, me and my brother always talk about it. We be like, man, you remember Pat came over there singing all these songs? He had sung the whole album to us, man.
No shit.
And plus, because like I said, some of the songs wasn't even much on the album. Some of the songs went on this person's album. Some of the songs went on the Southside Players album. He made Pat all them songs he was doing.
So he really wrote Serious Smoke?
He wrote Serious Smoke. Yeah. Fat Pat came up with that. Yeah, that's his song.
No shit. Damn.
Man.
That's a new one.
Yeah,
damn.
Pat, boy,
damn, Lil Randy, come on, man. Keep talking, man. Shit.
that boy had talent, man. Yeah, that boy. Man, but let me see. Who was for like a Big Mo story, man? Big Mo. Of course, I know him.
Was Big Mo really was he like the biggest sipper in the clique for real? Was he?
As far as drinking syrup, I'm gonna have to say he was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say Big Mo. He was a for real drinker. I'm gonna give you a Big Mo story with me and him. So it's Big Mo's birthday. You know what I'm saying? I knew we was gonna end up at Screwhouse, but as far as us making a tape, that wasn't for sure. But I knew we was gonna end up at Screwhouse. So me and Big Mo, we chilling.
So what y'all? Okay, let's give me y'all going out to eat and shit. What y'all doing?
Nah, that's what I'm finna give it to you. So Big, like I said, I would always be at Big Mo house anyway. So I knew it was his birthday, and I knew people would be over there hanging out or whatever. So I go to Mo house, and we just sitting in there just drinking. Everybody, we playing a game, cracking jokes, doing all this. We sitting there, everybody just drinking. And really, out of all of us, it wasn't a lot of weed smoke. It was mostly just drinking. You know what I'm saying? I didn't smoke. I don't think Mo, little bro, Kerry, he didn't smoke. But anyway, we were just doing a lot of drinking. So, man, Mo had when I come to Mo house, this was unheard of. Mo had pints and 2 liters. When we was drinking back then, the most you had was an 8.
Wait. I just got what you said. He put the whole pint in the 2 liter?
He put the whole pint, and I'm not just one. So I'm finna get the story to you. So Mo had pints in the 2 liter. Back then the normal it was a 4 and 2 liter, maximum a 8. You know what I'm saying? So I coming out, Mo got pints. You know what I'm saying? He got like 4 2 liters over there. All the 2 liters got pints in them. He come in, he said, man, pour up, baby. It's my B-Day. Pour up, baby. Man, we pour up. Now, so we all.
I can't even imagine,
bro.
You ain't really got too much soda in there. You got a pint in the goddamn 2 liter,
man, the soda
bro.
got to be under the paper.
Yeah.
The soda got to be under the paper. I mean, the taste is so strong. So, that ain't even much the end of it. We get the screw house. He got 2 more 2 liters with pints in them. And he got a pint that he's sipping straight out of the pint bottle, passing it around at Screw House. This when we made the tape bar. And if you go back,
I was gonna ask if this the bar tape.
That was bar. If you go
Sipping
back and listen
on
to,
bar, y'all.
yeah, if
bar,
you go back and
y'all,
listen, he say chilling with my partner Randy.
Yeah.
So, if that's when we make that tape. Now, it's at the end of the day. I think we finished the tape that night, but of course it's the next morning. It's lunchtime. It's like between 11 and 1 o'clock in the evening. The next day, I'm finna leave. So I go outside. I mean, I'm gone as hard as I ever been in my life. So I go outside. I get in the car. I crank the car, man. Some reason I fall asleep right there. Car running in the driveway.
In the driveway, Screw House.
Nikki come pull up behind me. She hit a car running. She didn't know I was in the car. I had dark, car back then it was tint bang. I had dark tint on my car. She hit a car running, so she looked in through the tent. See, I'm in her sleep. She boom, 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 boom on the window. Boom, 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 boom on the window. I look up. Oh man, what's up? She, hey Randy, you want to just come back in and go to sleep? You know what I'm saying? Go back in because everybody else in the house still asleep.
They knocked out.
She came home on her lunch break.
Yeah.
I'm like, thinking I'm up now. I'm like, oh, no, you know what, man? I'm tripping. Let me go and go. You know what I'm saying? So she pulled from behind me. She said, you sure you don't want to go in there and go sleep? I'm like, nah, Nick, I'm good. I'm finna go and go to the house. I get out. I don't even remember how I got out the driveway. From that, all I remember is telling Nick Nack I was good. Bam, I take off, man. I almost get home. I had to stop at a red light, obviously, because I'm at a red light. And I fall asleep at the red light.
Couchy, yeah.
I fall asleep at the red light. Man, people behind me just bum, 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 blowing. These people on their lunch break. Man, I must have panicked or something, man. I end up, bam, I hit the gas and fall back to sleep, man. I end up hitting a curb, a pole. Man, I tore my hoop up, man.
Damn.
Yeah, man, I had to end up calling my brother, get a wreck truck, had to get my car. I couldn't even drive because I had bent my rims, everything. Couldn't even change it just to put a flat on there or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't have but one dummy. Both of the wheels on the passenger side was gone. I mean,
man, how y'all boys was sipping like that, man? That's crazy.
I don't know. But man, yeah, I ended up telling Mo about that a couple of days later. We were just laughing. I was like, bro, I was gone, man. I'm talking about I was out of there. And tried to drive, man. Yeah, could have killed somebody, man. And tried to make it home, man.
God damn. That's wild.
That red light got me, man. The red light got me.
Man, that's what's up. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm glad to hear shit like that. Because when I hear the bar tape, I'm like, man, I bet them boys was really pouring up that day, man.
Oh, man. Hey, now that's one tape. But I'm going to tell you, man, that tape, man, we was really pouring up. I mean, that tape, man, Yeah, it was some oil in there that day.
Yeah.
I'm talking about for real, and I'm talking about we was because even after that, that's when I made I want to say 9-7 or 9-8 live, I was sipping straight. And whatever live tape I made when it was just me and Screw. One of my live tapes I can't remember if it was 9-7 or 9-8, but it was just me and Screw in there. And I had 2 pints and an 8, and we was sipping the 8 straight. And I had the 2 pints pulled up in sodas, and we was sipping that 8 straight, man, straight out the bottom, man. Just me and Screw. Yeah,
Man, that's tough.
I can't remember which one. I want to say it was 9-7 that I did. It could have been 9-8. But whichever one, if you go back and listen to it, it's just me and Screw on there. Ain't nobody else on the tape.
Yeah. Man, that's tough.
And like I said, a lot of my tapes was done like that, you know. Just me and him. Cause like I say, sometimes we'll do a tape. It's just me being over there. We do a tape. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no intentions behind the tape.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, man, I got so many stories. So many stories, man.
Yeah.
You know, like even like a Big Hawk story. Like one of my Big Hawk stories is
Was Hawk live like how Pat was, or were their personalities different?
Yeah, they 2 totally different people. Like Hawk was the first person I ever seen writing at Screwhouse.
Yeah.
You know, Hawk, he kind of was like, he didn't freestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like when I come in there and I seen Hawk had the pen and pad, it was like foreign to me, and cause I just never seen that. You come to Screwhouse, you gonna freestyle, and none of the freestyles were ever planned. Like June 27th, that wasn't planned.
Right.
It just Screw put on the instrumental. We start, you know what I'm saying? I think the only freestyle that was ever planned at Screwhouse was that Headed to the Classic. They was writing on that, you know what I'm saying? That was like one of them where they was like, you know, seriously trying to put out a freestyle on the Screw tape. So that wasn't just like, here, say whatever on your mind freestyle. It wasn't like that, you know what I'm saying? Like 9-6 Live, that was just, here, say whatever's on your mind, you know what I'm saying? June 27th was just, here, say what's on your mind, you know what I'm saying? They didn't pre-record anything. It was just live, just go for it, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. That's what it is, man. Well, shit, we can wrap it up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I said, I'm gonna have to definitely
You
come
have to
through do a part
another
2,
one,
man,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. But I appreciate you coming through. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been listening, man. Shit, since I was in middle school, bro. You know what I'm
I
appreciate
appreciate it, yeah, man.
I always fucked with them tapes, man. They were always jamming. You know what I'm saying? Like I say,
man, I really gotta appreciate everything, man. For anybody that even like still be listening to it, still into it. Not saying that got to be the only thing you do, but just aware of it. You know what I'm saying? You know what Screwed Up Click is and all that. Man, I be appreciating that. You know what I'm saying? Because,
now it's important that we keep that shit. You know, keep that going, keep that legacy going.
yeah, that's what I say, and that's basically what I be trying to do, man. Just keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Even like because it be so many new fads that come out. You know, you gotta try to keep the legacy in there because people gonna always want to gravitate to what's new.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They want to, every time something new come out, the masses, especially with the internet now, man, it's so easy for the masses to gravitate to anything, man. Which is cool. You know what I'm saying? To just try to keep that S.U.C. from being lost in the smoke, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I still promote everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, like this here, like even the logo, this come from Screwed Up Entertainment. Like this is the original Screwed Up Click logo. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is the one that Screw came up with. So, and that's what it was. You just, you put the Screwed Up Click in a circle and you put your name or your initials in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's the original, you know what I'm saying? There's not too many people from the clique that still even rep it like that. But I do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what it is.
I still use the original everything.
Yeah. That's what it is. Well, hey, man, it's the Donnie S.U.C. podcast, man. Lil Randy, appreciate you coming through.
Donnie